For scalability of apps, do you plan to get help from a software engineer? Yep, of course. So the whole idea with vibe coding, in my experience, is it allows entrepreneurs, people who are not software developers, so people like myself, to test out ideas. So I will have an idea for something, and previously, in years gone, I don't know if you've ever been to like networking events or tech hackathons and stuff like that. There's always the kind of ideas people and then the tech people, and there were never enough tech people. It was very difficult because their skill was highly, highly in need. What's really cool about vibe coding is it allows entrepreneurial people who have an idea but don't know how to build it. They're not a software developer. It allows them to build a proof of concept or even a minimum viability product, something very basic that one, they could take to market, maybe, depending on how sophisticated it needs to be. They can show to technical co-founders or potential technical co-founders and say, hey, this is what I built. I know it's rubbish, but could we do something with this? So instead of them saying, I have an idea, they can show proof of work because the idea itself is nothing. Three, you can take your MVP or your proof of concept to investors. And you can say, this is what it looks like. This is what it would do. Right now it's rubbish. We'll make it good. A really good example of this is Jason, Meme Lord Technologies. Let me put him up. Jason Levin. He's on AI Overviews as Jason Meme Lord. And so Jason Levin, or I am Jason Levin, he built something called memelord.com. He didn't even use vibe coding. I think he used Bubble. He used a no-code tool to build the basic version, and it was rubbish. And he will fully admit that. And he built this memelord.com, and it allows you to make memes. He fills it up with memes every single day. About 2 weeks ago, he raised $3 million. He built a basic version on Bubble. It was a bit crap, but he used that to go to investors and say, hey, here's the idea. I already have this number of paying subscribers. They're paying me for this. And I managed to do this myself with no engineer, with no technical help, but I've proven there's a market for this. Invest in me. So he raised 3 million the other day, and he immediately hired a software developer to basically rebuild it from scratch. I think vibe coding is really exciting for this reason, because it allows somebody with an idea to actually start to action that idea. Is it going to be a fully secure, fully scalable piece of software? No, not at all. But it allows you to get that proof of concept, prove that there's a market for it and that people actually care about the idea, and then you can go from there. So I think that's what's really exciting. So with all of the apps that I'm going to be building, one per month, if any of them hit off and people want it and people start paying, I will hire somebody to rebuild it. And they will come in and they'll say, this is an absolute mess. And I'll say, yeah, that's fine. Can you rebuild it? Because I'll use the money to get it built. Previously, I've worked with people who've done this. They would raise money. So they'd raise a couple of 100,000 or whatever to put together an MVP. And then they'd go off and they'd hire somebody or a team. But they wouldn't know what to ask for. They wouldn't know what they actually wanted the product to look like. They wouldn't know what the user interface or the user experience was like because they'd never built software before. So they'd give instructions to this software team. They'd pay them a couple of 100,000 and then it would come back and it'd be terrible because the person with the idea has never built anything before. They've never created software. They've never had to think about these things. And so the money gets flushed down the drain. When you get to build it yourself, you realize very quickly, oh, parts of my idea don't work. How do I change that? How do I change the flow? How do I change what's the value that's been created here? But the creator, the entrepreneur, can do that using natural language, which is very, very exciting. So it's a very long answer to, are you going to hire somebody? Yes, I will. Absolutely. But only if and when the market is proven.